boom, boom, that, boom, 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 that. They wonder how I dance like that. 2 steps forward, then I'll bring it right back. Pop it, lock it, drop it, pop it, lock it, drop it. Boom, boom, that, boom, boom, that. They wonder how I dance like that. 2 steps forward, then I'll bring it right back. Pop it, lock it, drop it, pop it, lock it, drop it. Pop it, lock it, drop it, pop it, lock it, drop it. Pop it, lock it, drop it, pop it, lock it, drop it. Pop it, lock it, drop it, pop it, lock it, drop it. Boom, boom, that, boom, 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 that. They wonder how I dance like that. 2 steps forward, then I'll bring it right back. Pop it, lock it, drop it, pop it, lock it, drop it. Boom, that, boom, boom, that. They wonder how I dance like that. 2 steps forward, then I'll bring it right back. Pop it, lock it, drop it, pop it, lock it, drop it. Pop it, lock it, drop it, pop it, lock it, drop it. Pop it, lock it, drop it, pop it, lock it, drop it. Pop it, lock it, drop it, pop it, lock it, drop it. They wonder how I dance like that. 2 steps forward, then I'll bring it right back. Pop it, lock it, drop it. Pop it, lock it, drop it. They wonder how I dance like that. 2 steps forward, then I'll bring it right back. They wonder how I dance like that. 2 steps forward, then I'll bring it right back. Pop it, lock it, drop it. Pop it, lock it, drop it. Boom, boom, that. Boom, boom, that. They wonder how I dance like that. 2 steps forward, then I'll bring it right back. Pop it, lock it, drop it. 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 Pop it, lock it, drop it.
What if your small business could run a TV ad on the #1 streaming platform in America? Well, now.
Bass drops, throw you rock, shake it up again the shots, take a smooth, let it pop, bounce it back, booty drop. Bass drops, throw you rock, shake it up again the shots, take a smooth, let it pop, bounce it back, booty drop.
Sub low, dance low, watch it flow on the floor. Ride the wave, music great, beat so tight, vibe feels right. Sub low, dance low, watch it flow on the floor. Ride the wave, music great, beat so tight, vibe feels right.
Bass drops, throw you rock, shake it up again the shots, take a smooth, let it pop, bounce it back, booty drop. Bass drops, throw you rock, shake it up again the shots, take a smooth, let it pop, bounce it back, booty drop.
Flow, give me more, people stomping, bases pumping, let it pound, feel the ground, body shaking all around. Drink the flow, give me more, people stomping, bases pumping, let it pound, feel the ground, body shaking all around.
Bass drops, throw you rock, shake it up again the shots, make it smooth, let it pop, bounce it back, booty drop. Bass drops, throw you rock, shake it up again the shots, make it smooth, let it pop. Booty drop, ground turn around, music pop and killer sound, limit drop, soda pop, on the move, bass drop, take a shot, hit the spot, hit the ground, turn around, music pop and killer sounds, make it smooth, let it pop, hit the ground, turn around, music pop and killer sound, limit drop, soda pop, on the move, bass drop, take a shot, hit the spot, hit the ground, turn around, music pop and killer sounds, make it smooth, let it pop. Bass drops, throw you rock, shake it up like any shots, make it smooth, let it pop, bounce it back, booty drop. Bass drops, throw you rock, shake it up like any shots, make it smooth, let it pop, bounce it back, booty drop.
Bass drops, body rock, shake it up like any shots. Ride the wave, music great, it's so tight, vibe feels right. Sub low, dance low, watch it flow on the floor. Ride the wave, music great, beat so tight, vibe feels right.
Bass drops, throw you off, shake it up like in the shots, make it smooth, let it pop, bounce it back, booty drop. Bass drops, throw you off, shake it up like in the shots, make it smooth, let it pop, bounce it back, booty drop.
Flow, give me more, keep it stomping, bass is pumping, let it pound, feel the ground, body shaking all around. Check the flow, give me more, keep it stomping, bass is pumping, let it pound, feel the ground, body shaking all around.
Bass drops, body rock, shake it up like in the shots, make it smooth, let it pop, bounce it back, booty drop. Bass drops, body rock, shake it up like in the shots, make it smooth, let it pop, bounce it back, booty drop.
Flow, give me more, keep it stomping, bass is pumping, let it pound, feel the ground, body shaking all around. Check the flow, give me more, keep it stomping, bass is pumping, let it pound, feel the ground, body shaking all around.
Bass drops, body rock, shake it up like in the shots, make it smooth, let it pop, bounce it back, booty drop. Bass drops, body rock, shake it up like in the shots, make it smooth, let it pop, bounce it back, booty drop. Shake the flow, give me more, people stomping, bass pumping, let it pound, feel the ground, body shaking all around. Shake the flow, give me more, people stomping, bass pumping, let it pound, feel the ground, body shaking all around. Bass drops, throw you rock, shake it up like in the shots, make it smooth, let it pop, bounce it back, booty drop. Bass drops, throw you rock, shake it up like in the shots, make it smooth, let it pop, bounce it back, booty drop.
Hello. I ended that early. Oh, thank you, little Dev. I wrote that too, even though it's few words. Excuse me, guys. I got a little bit of a cold. I've been smoking this THC vape, and it's not making it very easy. So, the first thing I want to cover tonight is Tanya Cash. Let me give you a little background. I went to school where she had gone to school. I was done going to school there the year prior to her, a couple years prior, but I was done with school around the time that she got kidnapped. I had moved out of the neighborhood with my first my first husband, Jesus Christ, excuse me. And it was a big to-do. My mom lived in the area. My sisters lived in the area. My family knows Tanya. Most of my friends know Tanya. I've never had the pleasure of meeting her. However, yesterday she popped up on my friends list on Facebook, and a friend requested her. Then I wrote her, and all I said to her was, would you be willing to come on my YouTube channel? It was real quick. Let me see. I can't access my Facebook from my computer, but I can from my phone. Let me show you guys the messages. Some of them. You can see that's her Facebook. And I wrote her and I said, Tanya, we both lived in McKeesport. I run a YouTube channel called Crystal's Crime and Music. Was wondering if you would like to interview. I'm a tad bit older, but you know my family. She put, hello, yeah, I'll be on your YouTube channel. Thank you for asking. I know your family question. Yes. Shannon Stanley is my sisters. Connie Jenkins, Melissa Jenkins, Matthew Plotter. By the way, I don't get along much with them. Haven't seen them in years. Truth. My brother killed their brother, and we're cousins. It's a whole family conundrum. I talk to some of them. I don't talk to all of them. And yay, just let me know when you're available. I cannot wait to hear your story. Okay, I remember. Are you free not this week, but the week after? Unfortunately, I have a lot going on this week. I'm free Tuesday, November 18th in the morning. If that works for you, I put yes, perfect. I put you rock and you're a strong woman. She put thank you so much. So November 18th, I have an interview. Now let me give you a little background on Tanya. She was, I think, sort of in a coerced grooming relationship with a security guard at her school. The security guard convinced her to run away to his house. There he held her captive. However, he did allow her to go out little bits to a store where I lived right around the corner. Not when this happened, but I grew up in the area at some point in my life. I'm very familiar with the store. My cousins know the people that own it. My mother knew the people that own it. So it was a big story around it when Tanya definitely got found. It was, I think, 10 years she was held captive. I'm just going to give you a little introduction today. This ain't going to be nothing serious, just a 5-minute video. And then we're going to move on, and I'm going to share a live I had about Jody Sue and a new video made. And then I'm going to tell you why I made that video and why I'm sharing this video. Give me 1 minute. Where are we at here? Somehow I think I clicked out of something. Okay.
In the Win with Zen sweepstakes, you can get a chance to win $100,000. But there's more than one way to win.
I'm joined now by my friend and someone I greatly admire, Tanya Cash. Tanya, it's been 18 years since you courageously escaped. Do you look back at it and wonder how you did it? How did you survive it? I mean, more than a decade.
I know. I look back and I wonder how I survived it. It's crazy. But by the grace of God, I got through it.
No, you're just such an incredible woman. You're so strong. I mean, you kept going every single day. Your story, it shows and teaches so much about grooming and mental control. And I mean, what, in your words, do you feel like are signs that parents and friends should watch for?
They need to watch for the signs where, if an adult who, what happened to me was he was 38 and I'm 14, and sitting down talking and having a conversation, and he gave me jewelry, he gave me money, he gave me cigarettes, he gave me things that I had, that a 38-year-old man should not have been giving a 14-year-old girl. And that's one of the ways, one of the big ways of grooming, and how that came about and everything.
But I mean, you're so right. We all need to pay attention to the relationships around us and note when something's different or not right, when there is extra attention being paid to someone that probably shouldn't be paid to. You also feel your story helps women in abusive relationships. How?
So women, unfortunately, in abusive relationships, it's a cycle, and they do things to keep them in the relationship. They buy them things, they apologize for the abuse, and it's a never-ending cycle. And I'm hoping by women seeing my story to break that cycle and to get out.
I think you're right. And we chatted before that, I mean, we both experienced that control over us to the point that, I mean, I can say that I know that those mental bonds are stronger than physical bonds. I mean, I experienced them both. And it becomes, I mean, your captors, and what I imagine domestic violence abuse victims experience is that the other person just becomes so powerful. They feel like that they're invincible, that no one can protect you from them. I mean, do you feel like that's how you felt as well?
Oh, that's exactly how I felt. With the mental control, like he was in charge, he was in control. I did what he told me to do, when, where, how. He told me to jump, it was how high.
I mean, I just know that your story is so powerful, and so many people still need to hear it because it does show what grooming looks like. It does show how dangerous these situations can be, how easy it is for a vulnerable child to be targeted. And now you have a beautiful life. And can you just tell me, how do you feel about life now? I mean, what does your life look like? Where does your strength keep?
I'm going to stop it there because I have some similar questions for her. I want you guys to hear her answer on my panel. It might be a little more relaxed and laid back because we're both from the same area, know the same people. I might be able to make her relax a little more than going on the usual interview she goes on. But if she's watching, some of the questions I prepared for her are, did you look at Thomas as a boyfriend? Because there was a lot of controversy just cruising by. Aw, little Dev is one of the nicest people on here, Sandy. And I'm not going to be on Tanya too long here today. I'm just going to go over these questions. And I want to explain to you guys that when she comes on, she's a little controversial in my area for many reasons. She had a big explosion with her parents. However, if she wants to do a second interview and talk about that with me, I'm willing to do that. But that's not what my first interview with her is going to be about, only because my point of it is to bring signs of grooming to YouTube, and she is an inspiration. She was 14 years old. This man was 38, and he's out of jail now. I heard that he got out. I'm going to look and make sure, but I'm pretty sure that's what I heard. But some of the questions I'm going to have for Tanya are, did you know Thomas is a boyfriend? Because he groomed her at school prior and then convinced her to move in with him. What was so charming about him, if so? Do you, as someone underage, look at it as grooming? How did he groom you? That's my biggest question for her. Did he abuse you? If so, when did the abuse start? When did you realize it was a kidnapping? Did he threaten you if you reached out to friends or family? Now, there was a store involved in her story around the corner from me where she was allowed to go to. I believe she would wear wigs or something to go to this store. And some of my questions I'm really curious about is did she ever think of running or things of that nature? Did he have her just terrified to run? Because I feel that's what it is. I always keep, even with her controversial issues in the back of my mind, that she was only 14 years old and this man was 38. She doesn't have the mental capacity to know not to run away with this Prince Charming grooming her at school, an adult security guard, somebody who should be trusted in her life. Hi, we Scottish. So I wrote JJ's. How did you start frequenting JJ's? That's the name of the store. Describe the store owners, the area. I also lived on Sewell, so I would love to hear your perspective, which is right behind this. I literally lived right behind the store. How did you protect your identity? Was it asked of by Mr. Hose? What did the store owners know? How did you get past the EMS workers across the street? That's something I know about because I live here. There was 14 Miss Nat. Sorry. Yes, 14 years old, and he was 38 and a security guard at the school. This was a huge story back in the 90s. And then again in the 2000s when they found her. She wasn't found for a good 10 years. She stayed in his control. He was controlling her. So how did she get past the EMS workers across the street? You would think that the EMS workers would be on the hunt. They would see her missing persons picture. Was it not shared with them? Do your age progression picks, do you think that they were spot on? I think they're pretty close. Hey, flies. Thank you for showing love. Hit the thumbs up, guys. And then I asked her about thoughts on the Krim case, which is another local case to me. I want to get in touch with Jeannie, her mom. I know them personally. My mother was friends with them, and I want to talk to them about their case on here one day. And maybe I can introduce that with Tanya. How do the police treat you today? How did they treat you after? There was no internet in 1996. How easy do you think it is today for someone like Hose to exploit young girls while working in a school setting? What do you do today to spread awareness? Do you find the internet a scary place for children today? How could we spread better and safer awareness for missing children from a victim's standpoint? Those are all the questions I have for her. That'll be the content of my questions. We're not going to go into her controversies while she's on my panel, at least this time. If she's comfortable and wants to talk about them another time, that's fine. If not, you guys can look those up. But I'm not here to exploit Tanya. I'm here to find out how we could better serve a case like Tanya's or like Summer's. I'm here to learn and educate us about the grooming process and what it feels like to be groomed. I think that's important as parents, grandparents, just local citizens paying attention to our kids out and about in the real world. It's a scary world we live in, and we're all here covering Summer, and we could all learn and do better from a child's standpoint, a victim. And Tanya's a real victim. All right, guys. Now, my next video I'm going to share. Oh, I didn't click out of it. Is this one. I made this morning. We're going to watch it, and then we'll...
Instead of a clunky URL, I can create a branded bit.ly short link with a custom domain that looks professional.
We'll probably watch it again and commentate. But the first time I want you to take it in and try to understand the perspective of these footprints. And I'm going to go back on my community wall where I just was. And I'm going to read a post I made this morning. They all coincide. I was making these videos while posting.
Right? So you say, well, 5 minutes. You say 2 minutes. Even though that's not true, and it's the country, and most people would accept, well, they were outside playing, and I had to see them for an hour. You know, but you want to sound as good as possible, and maybe you say things that are trying to keep your other children safe, or for being taken the next day, and maybe you also tell law enforcement that's the only child there, because you have hope they're going to find your kid in 10 or 15 minutes, and everything's going to be over, but it's not over, and your child's still missing, and oh shit, now you're walked into a time.
Yep, no, I
heard them, and I heard things from them, like, as I was getting into the creek, you know, I heard Candace and come back and circle around at each other at the top of their hill, and I heard them talk, and, yell, talk, whatever, to each other, and then, as I get around to the main thoroughfare, like Beach Creek Road itself, I start seeing them at a certain point to the left towards Simpson Road. Not Simpson Loop, but Simpson Road. They're back towards the creek, and they're kind of squatted down playing near the fence line that separates back there in the field. But I continued looking until I made my way to them. They weren't really paying attention. They were playing with something, and then when I finally got to them, they kind of jumped up and started on us, like, hey guys, and, you know, I was like, I asked some questions, like, you know, when have you seen your sister last, when, you know, this, how long, and, you know, this part of what I'm not really saying out loud to, you know, the public, because I think it's important, but I continued looking until I made my way to them. They weren't really paying attention. They were playing with something, and then when I finally got to them, they kind of dumped up started on us like, hey guys, and I was like, I asked some questions like, when have you seen your sister last? What, this how long? And this part of what I'm not really saying out loud to the public because I think it's important. But I continued looking until I made my way to them. They weren't really paying attention. They were playing with something, and then when I finally got to them.
I asked them, where the last place they saw Summer was. But what I was told was that the last place they seen Summer was at the swing set. 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 And I was like, and then I asked how long that had been. And I get told 5-10 minutes. I immediately know that time's a lot, but like with their kids, how time travel is different for children, right? So, pay no mind, but I do take the location seriously. But because they seem pretty well firm on theirs, as opposed to Candace, who doesn't. It's so vague with her. And the one part that felt different was time to her, where I just was like, whatever, she didn't have eyes on her at all, or something,
What part, can I ask? I mean, we're here.
As far as what the boys said to me in the last place, they saw Summer and how long it had been. That's something I think is just like for cops to know,
Yeah, okay. Well, that's
so I'd rather keep it from public consumption.
Yep. Okay, keep it quiet. Yep. Totally agree.
And
I did hear the boys were playing hide and seek. Is that true?
No, like when they were playing like you would, like they're spotted down at the creek there, and they were just playing like in order, like they were looking at something having a neighbor, and it's pretty shallow. I mean, at that point where it had been dammed up, it was just like a little trickle, It wasn't all deep at that spot, and so they were just kind of squatting down. I don't know that they were taking it seriously. They're a bunch of kids. They think, it'll be all right, type of thing. That's the way I took it, and their mannerisms and stuff. Just being kids. But when I come there, like, adults, we were supposed to be looking, and, and the oldest looked at me, and me and the oldest know each other, like 3 years. And I was like, I asked him, he was the spokesman for the little group, and they had that look like, oh man, we've got to march back to the house. We're going to get told on, we're probably going to be in trouble type of, I was like, because they're acting a little weird. I thought, man, they think I'm going to tell their mama, and they're going to be in deep crap for playing instead of looking for Summer.
Welcome back, all my friends and viewers. Tonight, I'm looking at a video from Squall Tip. And as I look at here, let's read this. It says, we just moved there about 7 months ago and live one house down from them. Search crews and deputies have been on our land pretty much every day and have been keeping us updated on what they are seeing in our neighborhood as far as evidence. There is physical evidence that she was in the woods by my house and in my neighbor's yard after she went missing. Excuse me? There is physical evidence that she was in the woods by my house and in my neighbor's yard after she went missing. Okay.
So I asked ChatGPT to build me a Shopify store, and it said, no, we can't do that. But here is about a...
First of all, I need to know, has this been vetted? Second of all, where's this neighbor at? Has this been mentioned before? There's physical evidence that she was in the woods at someone's house after she went missing.
And they had come to it when I was going towards the creek to get in. And after I heard him talk to Candace last time, they went down to your staring directly, face on it, Candace's mailbox and stuff. They went downhill to the left and towards the creek that way, towards Simpson. So where they were at, everything made sense. But no, when I come across them, they weren't playing hide and seek. They were playing in the water, like all slowed down in a little row, you know, chin sort of almost touching knees, really enamored looking at something, and I interrupted them. I mean, but, you know, they went right back to themselves and back towards, you know, the house.
But we have to take into account till law enforcement verifies anything, it's all hearsay till they confirm or deny. But on that note, I can also tell you that people have went out and talked to the property owner and looked at it and verified stuff. But we're just giving you what the information, as we've said from the beginning, is from the property owner and so forth and so on. So bear with me just a second, and I'm waiting for something to be emailed over to me, and I'll be able to show it to you. I worked on this. We kind of threw this together. We've had all this information, but I wanted to do it in a safe way that I'm not putting out somebody else's against their wishes, putting out their location. So I'm going to give you a general roundabout area, not exactly on the location, because they asked that their location not be shared. So I respect their wishes, and will only show a general area and the direction that we feel, in our opinion, that we feel direction of travel is. On another channel stream, they said that somebody had debunked it. I don't see how you can debunk something when we know that people have been out who are licensed and went and talked to property owners and looked at and seen and exactly what they were talking about. We are going on what the property owner has disclosed and made public. Again, these were not anything new. This came out the first week of the search for Summer Wells, the first few days. And we've had to go over, people are thinking this is all brand new stuff. No, this is from the beginning. No, law enforcement hasn't debunked anything. Thank you for saying that, Reluctant Healer. Law enforcement hasn't said anything about it. So we're going on public information. What I can say is where their search areas were this past 2 days that they did their searches. They were right there on that whole area. That's where they were at. That's what they were doing. Yeah, exactly. So, you know, that's all right. We'll allow people to say what they want. That's their own prerogative. But we're going to show you what we have and what we've been working on and what we feel like from working with the people, that is very crucial that you take this into account. But again, this is hearsay evidence till law enforcement either confirms or denies what our theory is. And not theory, but say it how I should. It is, well, till it's verified, that's what it is.
We're just going off of what property owners have said and
public information.
Yeah.
So that's all you can do unless you have inside information and you're in law enforcement in the know with them, and they're not releasing anything. And so we will go on what we have, and we can say that we've been out and talked to property owners. We've talked to people that have told us exactly.
We've talked to people who, I don't know how to say that.
What? Explain to me what you're trying to say. Well, type it out at least. That's fine. We'll say what you're going to say. You spoke to people who do have knowledge.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. All right, here. So let me go in here and zoom in, and we'll get started on this. So there we go. So this here.
So by public information, we mean by the property owners. One of them has come out. He posted things on a Facebook group. He posted everything about the footprints. We've shown you guys a couple of the things that he's posted.
Well, we actually showed you quite a few things. I've
Right.
showed you every screenshot that we have.
That we can find now, yeah.
Yeah, that we can find because he deleted everything.
Yeah, his whole family ended up getting doxxed, and it was a bad situation for him, so he just deleted it.
First of all, holy hell, Helen, thank you so very much. You rock. You really do. The other thing I was saying is flies. Pay attention to what we're listening to. No, can you hear me now? You should be able to hear me. I had it muted. Okay. So what we're paying attention to here is Jody Sue was telling us where she's seen the kids, which was closer to Simpson Loop, where the fence meets, which is halfway down into the creek. Closer going to Sharfie's home, I believe, but in the path of the footprints. Something else that's also in the path of is Ziggy's been talking about it, and it brought it to my mind. Red Solo Cup on Goshen Valley Road states he's seen kids on the road. Could it be a possibility? I had a really good, I'm looking for the interview. If you guys want to help me find it, I can't remember when and where it was. It was on my channel, but it was me and Blue Solo Cup, and it was a real dramatic live. I want to rewatch it with you guys and listen to what he said about the children on the road that day. Because to me, when I listen to this and some of the things we're going to listen to next, including Jeremy Pill, who may have been the neighbor to the neighbor that we just listened to Bless This Mess read a Squall Tit post from. Is it a possibility that the boys walked somewhere to meet someone for Candace? If that makes sense. Like I said, I go all lanes. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start this now that I gave you some context. I'm going to restart the video. Please pay attention to what Jody Sue says about the boys, where they were, a swing set, the placement, and then pay attention to what Jody's telling Chris McDonough, what Cam is showing you, all of it. Really pay attention to the post written by Squall. Before we move on, something else to keep in mind. The 911 call dispatcher said the last time Summer was seen was walking away from her home on Ben Hill Road. We can play the 911 call if you guys want.
It is possible, right? So you say, well, 5 minutes. You say 10 minutes. Even though that's not true, and it's the country, and most people would accept, well, they were outside playing, and I hadn't seen them for an hour. but you want to sound as good as possible, and maybe you say things that are true to try to keep your other children safe, or for being taken the next day, and maybe you also tell law enforcement that's the only child there, because you have hope they're going to find your kid in 10 or 15 minutes, and everything's going to be over, but it's not over, and your child's still missing, and oh shit, now you're walking into a time.
Yep. No, I
heard them, and I heard things from them, like, as I was getting in the creek, I heard Candace and come back and circle around at each other at the top of their hill. And I heard them talk and, talk whatever to each other. And then as I get around to the main thoroughfare, like Beach Creek Road itself, I start seeing them at a certain point to the left towards Simpson Road.
Your health deserves more than guesswork. At Prenuvo, our whole body MRI scans for hundreds.
Not Simpson Loop, but Simpson Road. They're back towards the creek, and they're kind of squatted down playing near the fence line that separates back there in the field. But I continued looking until I made my way to them. They weren't really paying attention. They were playing with something, and then when I finally got to them, they kind of jumped up, started on us, like, hey guys, and, I was like, I asked some questions, like, when have you seen your sister last, like, this, how long, and, this is part of what I'm not really saying out loud to, the public, because I think it's important, but I continued looking until I made my way to them. They weren't really paying attention. They were playing with something, and then when I finally got to them, they kind of jumped up, started on us, like, hey guys, and, I was like, I asked some questions, like, when have you seen your sister last, like, this, how long, and, this is part of what I'm not really saying out loud to, the public, because I think it's important, but I continued looking until I made my way to them. They weren't really paying attention. They were playing with something, and then when I finally got to them,
I asked them, where the last place they saw some of us. But what I was told was that the last place they seen Summer was at the swing set. 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 And I was like, and then I asked how long that had been. And I get told 5-10 minutes. I immediately know that time's a lot, but like with their kids, how time travel is different for children, right? So, pay no mind, but I do take the location seriously. But because they seem pretty well firm on theirs, as opposed to Candace, who doesn't. It's so vague with her. And the one part that felt different was compared to where I just was like, whatever, she didn't have eyes on her at all or something,
What part, can I ask? I mean, we're here talking
as far as like what the boys said to me in the last place, they saw Summer and how long it had been. That's something I think is just like for cops to know,
Yeah, okay. Well, that's
so I'd rather keep it from public consumption.
Yep. Okay, keep it quiet. Yep. Totally agree.
And
I did hear the boys were playing hide and seek. Is that true?
no, like when they were playing like you would, like they're squatted down at the creek there, and they were just playing like in the water, like they were looking at something having a name or, and it's pretty shallow. I mean, at that point where it had been dammed up, it was just like a little trickle, It wasn't all deep at that spot. And so they were just kind of squatting down. I don't know that they were taking it seriously. They're a bunch of kids. They think, it'll be all right type of thing. That's the way I took it and their mannerisms and stuff. just being kids. But when I come there, like, adults, we were supposed to be looking, you know, and yeah, and the oldest looked at me, and I mean, you know, me and the oldest know each other a bit, you know what I mean, like 3 years. And I was like, you know, I asked him, he was the spokesman for the little group, and they had that look like, oh man, we've got to mark back to the house, we're going to get told on, we're probably going to be in trouble type of, you know, I was like, because they're acting a little weird. I thought, man, they think I'm going to tell their mama, and they're going to be in deep crap for playing instead of looking for summer.
Welcome back, all my friends and viewers. Tonight, I'm looking at a video from Squall Tip. And as I look at here, let's read this. It says, we just moved there about 7 months ago and live one house down from them. Search crews and deputies have been on our land pretty much every day and have been keeping us updated on what they are seeing in our neighborhood as far as evidence. There is physical evidence that she was in the woods by my house and in my neighbor's yard after she went missing. Excuse me? There is physical evidence that she was in the woods by my house and in my neighbor's yard after she went missing. Okay. First of all, I need to know, has this been vetted? Second of all, where's this neighbor at? Has this been mentioned before? There's physical evidence that she was in the woods at someone's house after she went missing?
And they had come when I was going towards the creek to get in, and after I heard them talk to Candace last time, they went down to your staring directly, face on it, Candace's mailbox and stuff. They went downhill to the left and towards the creek that way, towards Simpson. So where they were at, everything made sense. But no, when I come across them, they weren't playing hide and seek. They were playing in the water, like all sliding down in a little row, you know, chin sort of almost touching knees, really enamored looking at something, and I interrupted them. I mean, but you know, they went right back to themselves and back towards, you know, the house.
But we have to take into account till law enforcement verifies anything, it's all hearsay till they confirm or deny. But on that note, I can also tell you that people have went out and talked to the property owner and looked at it and verified stuff. But we're just giving you what the information, as we've said from the beginning, is from the property owner and so forth and so on. So bear with me just a second, and I'm waiting for something to be emailed over to me, and I'll be able to show it to you. I worked on this. We kind of threw this together. We've had all this information, but I wanted to do it in a safe way that I'm not putting out somebody else's against their wishes, putting out their location. So I'm going to give you a general roundabout area, not exactly on the location, because they asked that their location not be shared. So I respect their wishes, and will only show a general area and the direction that we feel, in our opinion, that we feel direction of travel is. On another channel stream, they said that somebody had debunked it. I don't see how you can debunk something when we know that people have been out who are licensed and went and talked to property owners and looked at and seen and exactly what they were talking about. We are going on what the property owner has disclosed and made public. Again, these were not anything new. This came out the first week of the search for Summer Webb, the first few days. And we've had to go over. People are thinking this is all brand new stuff. No, this is from the beginning. No, law enforcement hasn't debunked anything. Thank you for saying that, Reluctant Healer. Law enforcement hasn't said anything about it. So we're going on public information. What I can say is where their search areas were this past these past 2 days that they did their searches, they were right there on that whole area. That's where they were at. That's what they were doing.
Attention. If you've been considering going back and getting your high school diploma, then stay tuned.
Yeah, exactly. So, that's all right. We'll allow people to say what they want. That's their own prerogative. But we're going to show you what we have and what we've been working on and what we feel like from working with the people that is very crucial that you take this into account. But again, this is hearsay evidence till law enforcement either confirms or denies what our theory is. And not theory, but say it how I should. It is till it's verified. That's what it is.
We're just going off of what property owners have said and
public information.
Yeah.
So that's all you can do unless you have inside information and you're in law enforcement in the know with them, and they're not releasing anything. And so we will go on what we have, and we can say that we've been out and talked to property owners. We've talked to people that have told us exactly.
We've talked to people who, I don't know how to say that.
What? Explain to me what you're trying to say. Well, type it out at least.
You guys are catching me off guard. I'm so grateful. Thank you so very much. Just know I'm grateful, and I don't know how to respond when I get super chats. I don't want to over respond or under respond, and I always want to say thank you. So I appreciate the super chats 100%. You guys rock. But are you guys catching on to what I was saying? Because if you are, I'm going to move on. Let's go, because you can go watch that video anytime and give it a thumbs up. But let's move on to this. This is an old live. This live starts with Jody Sue. We're going to be here for a while. It is a 3-hour. This was one of my longer lives. This was a 3-hour live. I don't know if I'll finish this right now or we're going to listen to Jody Sue now. I think we should get through Jody Sue, and then I'm going to come back later today, and we're going to go over Jeremy Pill. And when we go over the Jeremy Pill part, what I think we're going to hear, because I didn't go back and listen to all of it, is him say that he lived 3,500 yards from the wells, which would have made him the neighbor that was talking to Squall and everybody else extremely early on in Summer's case. Also, the man who brought the Mountain Dew, his wife did the day before to Candace and Dawn Wells, and Jody Sue had a big fit about them bringing Mountain Dew. I don't see a problem with it, but it bothers me. Oh, and Angel, make sure you get a good rest. It bothers me that Jody made such a big deal about soda pop. We call it pop here. You guys call it soda, so I'm just going to call it soda pop. So let's give this a listen for a little bit. Hold on, where are we at? Oh, this is also, this part we're about to listen to with Jody is about some dogs, and there's some interesting stuff in here. I'm going to commentate. I was writing stuff down and forgot. I didn't finish, but I'm going to read it while we listen.
This is Squall's question. Squall tip. Squall tip. Of the hate, says Candace, will you allow Squall onto your Facebook so then she can help us all blackmail you? And this the other Squall tip. And who has created some of the most chaos in Summer's case, Squall tip. All right. Carrying On, and the worst shit to ever be pumped out in Summer's case and still exists online, and false suspects. She's created them. All right, carrying on. So here's the question, my squall tip.
Crew. Have you ever seen the residents at 125? So that'd be like Jody Sue, you know, and them. Jody Sue and crew. Have you ever seen them walking their dog before Summer went missing?
Yeah.
So Jody Sue would walk her dog?
Now Fred agrees. He goes, yeah, I've seen them walking their dog. Bullshit. I ain't never walked fucking dogs ever. Like that. Down there. Huh?
Tired of sifting through jobs that don't feel like the right fit? Introducing Indeed Career Scout.
Like, whatever. Okay, Fred. Carrying on.
No, she wasn't. I mean, I've seen them go and get it when.
Now it's a no. No, I've never seen them. I've seen her go and get it when it's gotten loose.
Got loose and stuff.
That'd be like Jody Sue, supposedly friendly with Andy Bernard, right?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen the residents at 125? So that'd be like Jody Sue, you know, and them. Jody Sue and crew. Have you ever seen them walking their dog before Summer went missing?
Yeah.
So Jody Sue would walk her dog?
No, she wasn't. I mean, I've seen them go and get it when it got loose and stuff. Run away.
I've seen them go and get it when it gets loose or runs away. Now here's the thing. Just wait for it.
But you've never seen them actually take it for a walk?
No. And the dog that they had on leash.
But he just says, yes. He said, yes, he had seen us take it for a walk. But then it was no. I see him when it gets loose or whatever, implying it's tied up. Okay.
The night Summer went missing, they had stole it.
Dog?
No, she wasn't. I mean, I've seen them go and get it when it got loose and stuff. Run away.
But you've never seen them actually take it for a walk?
No. And the dog that.
We had multiple dogs. Elwood, Reap, Boucher, and Velma. Okay. 2 of those are black and white dogs.
They had on leash. The night Summer went missing, they had stole it.
They sold it?
We didn't know where it went.
This is where it gets interesting. He just implied that we had stolen a dog. I guess the night he says there's a dog on a leash tonight, Summer went missing. There was no dog on a leash, which is part of the issue because the fucking scent dog was trying to fuck around and sniff buttholes of dogs. Alright. Obviously, dogs are not on a leash. That was Elwood and Boucher. One dog had to remain tied. That was Reap. Velma stayed inside. Okay. Velma was indoor only. Boucher came and went. Elwood would come and go. Very well behaved dogs. And they were indoor outdoor, but Boucher was always kind of inside the cabin with me, except playtime, running amok a little bit. You go next door, play with the kids, that type of shit, you know. Anyway, now, many a times I'd have to go get Boucher from up near Fred's. Happened a couple times because he was trying to breed Fred's nasty mutt, etc. I was like, oh hell no, so I go up there and get him. That type of shit. Anyway, Boucher, unlike Ziggy told you the other night, and I and other locals had a great laugh at her being like, "No."
She would have to go get the dogs because he would try to breed them with Fred's. Does that mean Andy, Bernard? That's the first thing I want to point out here. Andy was trying to breed the dogs. Next, we're going to hear her talk about a dog that's bred or has babies too. A husky up on the hill with Dawn and Candace, but she also tells us about another dog, Ellie. I want you to listen carefully to what she says because to me, it sounds like Jody, Sue, and Andy may have been involved in some dog fighting. I don't know that for sure, but listening to the words that I'm listening to, I'm trying to decipher it, and I would like Jody to clear some things up as we're listening. I have water brewing for my coffee because I told you all my coffee pot's broke. I have to pour it in over to buy her. Just keep listening. I took notes. Let me tell you what my notes say. Dog breeding. Jody Sue says multiple dogs, 2 black and white dogs. Fred accuses of stealing a dog. Had to go to Fred's to get Boucher. Implies he was trying to breed Fred's nasty pup. Jody would go get the dog from Fred. Jody also says Dawn bred her dog and Athena is her dog's pup. That's the husky. So was Andy's dog. So was Andy dog breeding with Fred and Dawn. Another dog named Velma. Jody got Velma because she was jacked up from dog fighting. So did she save this dog and then breed more dogs in the area? Or Andy did behind her back since she used the quote he? They knew she was worth money. Jody said saving her. Did they stop fighting her? Did they breed her? How many litters did she have? I'm curious. Was dog fighting money owed? Is that how drugs got stolen? Andy was found with a bag of meth. A big bag of meth, according to Jody. Could it play into Summer's case? I don't know. What do you think? But let's listen. And you're welcome, wee Scottish mom. I got to go back through the comments as soon as I pour my coffee. It's going to be a little bit because of the way I have to make coffee at the moment. Hopefully that's fixed this week. But I'll be right back and you guys listen. You got most of my thoughts on at least most of it.
My dog's not the puppy of Jody Sue's. It's not. Yeah, it is. Anyway, picture should show you that. Also, like there's no other dog in that holler that looks like that or had blue eyes other than mine. Yes, it is, Ziggy. All right, carry on. Carry on with this Steph thing.
And the dog that they had on leash the night Summer went missing, they had stole it.
Carry on with this Steph thing. Think about the path because this is going to go into Jeremy Pill. Steph is Jeremy Pill's wife who brought the Mountain Dew to Candace. So the dog was stolen from Steph. Velma. Jody's accusing that dog of being jacked up from dog fighting. Jeremy Pell, I would like you to grab a link one day. Please come in the chat. Let me know. I'm available at any time. Comment me. If I'm awake, we'll fire that link up really quick. I fucking promise you.
They sold it?
We didn't know where it went. They had stole it.
Stole it?
Yeah.
From who?
Stole it from another resident on it.
Was it a husky?
David Bays.
David Bays?
No, it was a kid.
A pit bull, that brown one?
No, it was a black one.
There was no brown pit bull. There's no brown pit bull. There was a giant black mastiff, but there is no brown pit bull. All right, There was a black and white one. Oh yeah. And then Fred goes, it was stolen from another resident on Ben Hill. No, not a resident. Just he wasn't living in there no more. And he wasn't living there when Velma came to us. Here's one. We found Velma quite a long time before Summer vanished. I have the exact date for that. She came in. Monster was coming in. She came right up to the car. It was piss pouring fucking rain. She was bleeding all over the place. She was jacked up. Her sides were cut. Her legs. It was bad. She was worn the fuck out. She came right into the vehicle. We tried for a few days to find the owner, this and the other. Had our, look, the way this dog was, you knew immediately she was worth money. She was bred. Her ears had been clipped, this and the other. Something was up with it. We assumed, rightly so, that someone had gotten her for fighting rings or breeding purposes for the fighting rings. But we're still looking for the owners, right? Now, I doctored her through that night. She came in, you could tell immediately she had been somebody's, like, prized, whatever. She was just total queen of the house immediately. I was like, well, you know. You see, we had her for several months already. That was in May of 2020. No. All right. This is we taking her to the vet to get her spayed. That was May 13th, 2020. Anyway, wait for it. It gets so much better.
They had stole it.
Stole it?
Yeah.
From who?
Stole it from another resident on it.
Was it a husky?
David Bays.
David Bays?
No, yeah, it was a pit.
A pit bull, that brown one?
No, it was a black and white one.
Oh, well,
Notice how he makes sure to say female. Did you notice that? Black and white, pit, female. Oh, yeah. Now, what Fred just did. Now, Fred and I have had this conversation way back because here's what went down at one point. We had Fred and them stop at the bottom of the driveway and snatch Velma. Okay. And we went down the holler where we knew they had went with the goddamn dog and raised hell. And there was a denial of the dog being there, and then the dog busted through the fucking door and was like, oh hell no, I'm going back with these people. Okay. It's a holler most normally don't go into starting shit. I started shit. I knew what they were doing. All right. I acquired the dog again immediately because I heard them shut the doors on the driveway. I knew the sound of the vehicle and I knew exactly where the fuck they were going. And I went into the hollow. We all did. And I was like, cough it the fuck up. Right? Now, here's the thing. We took Velma to the vet to have her spayed because, as you hear Fred say, female. Key point, female. We take Velma to the vet to get her spayed. This is where we learn that Velma is chipped. Velma belongs to a woman named Megan. Megan, now there's some shit up, but Velma comes from this top breeder, Florida, Chicago areas. Oh yeah. Also world-renowned chef thing, all this stuff, but he is, oh yeah. If you wanted to seek a dog out worth a fortune, Velma would be it. That's why Monster wanted her so much that he came here and stole her and played possession of her. It's all he wanted. And dumbass ever doesn't realize he's abusive to animals, and I'm sure she's going to take care much like Iron Little and Elvis Fur. But anyway, we spayed Velma. It cut down the bullshit. Then suddenly nobody wanted Velma any longer. Nobody wanted Velma. You know why? Because Velma had been fixed. But good was she then. She wasn't a breeder. Now, when we find out Velma's chipped at the vet, which is not a surprise, they give us name, number, they contact the person, we all contact each other. Oh yeah. I've got Velma's papers still sitting here with me. She is registered. She is signed over to us. At that point, the person, Megan, and her family, after meeting us, we went and met her and the family, this and the other. On the day we were bringing Velma, she shouldn't have been traveling. I was pretty pissed about the whole thing. But we took her to meet them and everything so they could see it. She was all right in this area. But what had happened was, Megan, wildly enough, her story included somebody down here having been given Velma. Okay? I'm like, who in the fuck just takes this dog that they took everywhere, baby, did all this shit with? Why in the fuck was it down here in this area? Seems like she was maybe put down here to breed. For a fortune. And then was supposed to have maybe gone back to the person. I didn't like that. It's like, no. This shit, she's going to be used for fighting purposes, at least breeders of. The only thing, they didn't seem like actually, it's too much of a put on, but, they didn't want her either after they realized because they were sort of fighting over it until I was like, bitch, we already had her fixed. Even the vet knew that if we fix this dog, it's going to stop all this shit. And it showed. It bore out. So Velma was fixed. All of a sudden, nobody wanted her. And Fred and old Dummy there who run from the roadblock the night Summer vanished, that was coming in to see Fred. Old Dummy there stopped trying to steal her too because she was.
So David Bays and Fred were running from the roadblock the night Summer went missing. When, Jody? Because you told us he was bringing his truck in and pulled in at 8:30. You showed video of it. You even showed a short. So when did you see him and David run? I'm real curious about that. Truth. And then you seen him with the motorcycle.
He was worthless at that point, other than a trainer dog, which means how they can pick those up anywhere, right? To train the true fighters with. They just use mutts and shit to let the others kill. So there's no use. There's no point in stealing her anymore. But what Fred just did was Fred just put him in the other one. Because, see, the other person told Megan, the true owner of Velma, that, well, they hadn't been honest. They said Velma was still there. But turns out after confronted, they were like, well, she vanished. And see, I could tell the marks on Velma's side and shit were like Rio Grande. You know how they have the two sort of twisty things at the top? The slashes all across Velma were exactly that. Now, at first, we thought on her underbelly and her sides and things.
I also want to remind you that Pell, his wife, is a Dykes who owns a trucking company right across the street from a skeleton, who's on the Megan's Law list and was not in compliance at the time of Summer's disappearance, who also lived where his parents lived from time to time, down by the horse pond. Yes, the guy in one photo looked like Scott. Do I think he's Scott today? No. Do I think Scott knows the guy? Yes. Watch my previous lives. We're not even going to start them beginning to go there. His son, Tristan. Interesting conversation. You should find the live I talk about it.
Things in her legs, maybe she had jumped a fence because pets can jump. They do that sort of thing. But my guess is, considering what I know to be true of Fred and this other person and where they kept trying to take Velma, was that they were probably going around stealing, I don't know, pets to fight, breed, that type of shit, especially nice. Now, Fred and I had this conversation before when he was like, oh no, that dog belongs to so-and-so. I was like, the fuck it does, bro. I got the paperwork, contacted the legit owner, the middleman, all this other shit. Dog vanished out of the yard. Yeah, that's her statement, and I've got it. I've got the fucking receipt, Fred. Still do. So it would look like you and your homie who ran the roadblock, ran away from it the night Summer vanished. We're definitely going around stealing fucking dogs for the fighting rings. So thank you, Fred, for fingering you again. Because that's more you told me before. You just told me that was David's dog. That was it. I was like, no, it ain't. No, it ain't. He wasn't running around with this dog, nor did he have prior, nah, I'm good. Didn't buy the bullshit, then argue with Fred over it. He's like, no, it was David. It was David. No, it ain't. Okay. Here's where this shit's gonna get wonky. All right. Here we go. This is Velma. Okay. This is Velma the day I brought her home from having her spayed in the backseat of my soul. This is Velma at home, all cuddled up with me in the bed, even prior to that. Velma snoozing on my bed. All right. Velma. this is who Velma was originally with. They took her 6 states away to have her ears cut. Okay. So their story in a way never made sense. They were just trading around the breeder. But anyway, this is a picture with her original owner, who she was originally chipped by after they brought her back from having her ears docked and all that other stuff. They took her walk and did all kinds of things with her. Right? She's a very expensive dog. All right. Now, Velma's original name was Rosalind. It's the dumbest name I've ever heard of. So this is the original chipped owner. They wanted to see Velma / Rosalind, make sure she was okay, blah, blah, blah. All right. They wanted to contact the vet, again, etc., all these things. We gave them permission to do so. We gave the vet permission. They were like, everything, my nerves are shot. This has been a very upsetting situation. I hope you guys have a nice night too. Give her a kiss for me and tell her I'm so sorry for making the wrong choice for her. And by that, they meant the person that they had placed her with in the area that Fred and his buddies stole her out of the fencing from to use her for rings. Yeah. It is okay. Thank you for letting me know. I figured that was what's happening. It was my battery. And I think we're leaving signal around Walker's Fork the night I was talking to her on the phone for hours. It was wonderful chatting with you as well. I've been laying here wide awake. I don't think sleep will happen tonight. I've been crying since we got off the phone. I'm just rattled from everything. My nerves are shot. Thank you so much for meeting with me. I feel so much better. You guys seem like a wonderful home, and she seemed very content. Thank you again so much for taking her in and treating her so kindly. That's all I wanted for her. She deserves it 100%. I was like, it was a pleasure. I know we were told not to do so, etc., right? So, there you go. Fred, David, the goddamn chipped owner, swapped her chip information over to us through the vet, through the service, have her goddamn paperwork. She did not in any way belong to you or David. You all stole her for ring fighting. And let's be real, we all know about the chicken and the dogs, don't we? Anyway, this is how much the original owner, look, they took updates, right? To post online, this is filming 3 weeks, 6 weeks, 9 weeks. Look, this is from her as well. Thank you again for everything. I was so stressed last night, but I think this one was deaf in God's hands, and He helped with this whole process. I'm glad it all worked out. Yes, when I find someone to talk to, my husband is constantly like, oh my God, are you still talking? I'm glad everything worked out for everyone. Yes, I'm going to call it a night as well. I'm exhausted, and my kiddo is screaming, can I play iPad? Can I play iPad? I'm glad she will now have a forever home, and she'll be watched and loved and have all her needs met like she did here. That's all I wanted for her. It is a real blessing to me and gives me a peace of mind. Thank you for letting me check up on her from time to time. And we did continually stay in contact even until we moved from Benny Hill with this woman. So yeah, Fred, not yours, not David's. Y'all stole that goddamn dog. And I know exactly who you stole it from. And you stole it for ring fighting purposes and breeding purposes. That's why you mentioned female. Keep fucking around me. Oh, and here it is. May 3rd. And I'm not going to dox her name, so I'm going to expand the screen. This is us talking to her again. We should be pulling in less than 10. We were having to take it a bit easier than the speed limit because near the speed limit was bothering her quite a bit. The vet recommended we not make her have her travel at all, but we all agree it may be best so you guys know she's okay and has the home you wanted for her when we're rehoming her last year, even if the first time didn't go well. Plus, it will make us feel a bit better about it as well. See you shortly. See? Fred, David, dog was goddamn rehomed, y'all stole her. That's why she had all those goddamn marks over being drug over fucking Rio Grande goddamn fence and then immediately escaped from y'all into the fucking rain and exhausted running amok. And then I patched her up and then we found the true owners through chips at a vet and then they signed her over to us and I have the goddamn paperwork. So yeah, buddy, I don't know. You know. Once again, thank you for meeting us. The law has the home we wanted for. Yeah. So, I don't know. And I've got the messages and the exact date that you and David tried to steal her back, and I went into the fucking holler and what kind of shit that set off to. Carry on with me some more, homie. Alright. So there's that. Oh, wait. Just so y'all don't think I'm full of shit here. Oh, here it is. Here you go. Same woman on an actual cell phone the messages come into, not just screenshots on my phone. Same woman, same fucking messages, right? And as you can see, these roll in real time, therefore nobody can be like, you made this shit up, you doctored the fucking messages, they're not real. Yeah, motherfuckers? Seriously? Huh? Alright. So they want to, oh, and there it is. There are pictures of Velma sleeping with Monster under the covers. Bless its spoiled little fucking heart. You know what, Schmutton? Bleeding and dying in the fucking rain are going to be used to breed or fight. That's what Schmutton. Motherfuckers. Try me, ho. This is who she was. Look.
As a child, I was always so outgoing and was never afraid to share my feelings or express myself. However,
This is who she was placed with. They stole her from. Would you like me to contact them too? I'm sure they have their owner seats. This is her on their couch being a spoiled princess. You know, the place she stole her from. And part of the rehoming thing had to do with those people going to have another baby. And Velma required much attention. This is them, their children with Velma. Velma has always been a spoiled brat. Okay. We sent her pictures. We were taking of Velma back and forth, you know, all these things. Velma birthday pictures. Yeah. So, I don't know. Fred, it would seem like that dog did not belong to you, thievy dog fighter, chicken fighter motherfuckers. Seems like you wanted her though, because female.
I'm treating this like a murder case. You don't really think we're gonna find them, do you?
We are this close.
Thanks for joining today.
At a certain point, Fred told me that another little girl, same age as Summer, looked exactly like her, sort of, in description from Fred. And even he said that. But that she had been taken, or she had just vanished. Out of the back of the holler, out of the woods. And she belonged to meth cooks. All of them were moving around inside the woods to different areas and taking goods in and out, and food, and shit to cook with, and all that shit. But they didn't report her as missing or vanished. Because, well, obviously. And she, somehow much like Summer, was not yet in school. But they had such camp that they were actually living in the woods. They weren't just visiting and or coming and going. They were actually living in the woods with the cook site and being moved around by others during periods. When it's time to move, you know. Goods taken in and out to them, you know. As they needed help moving the cook locations inside of the mountains, such. But anyway, it starts with it's why my initial watching. But damn, there's no way to tell with so many looky-loos and online crazies going real life. This was right after they firmly took off all full-time and part-time guard / copped into the road and all these other things. But of course, looky-loos, like I said a minute ago, part of my initial watching was to see return of predator or person, if anyone else other than those last known to be with Summer were involved. Somebody like that would indeed come back to revisit. Damn near bet on it. Couldn't tell though, for all you fucking Fruit Loops out there in the world who thought you just had to come into Ben Hill. Like I said, thanks a whole fucking. So anyway, hey, but y'all got footage of me in my nightgown with a machete moving my cameras around in the middle of the night and put them out on psychic channels. Thank God that really helped Summer Wells. Whereas if you just stayed the entire shit fuck out of there, that might have helped Summer a whole hell of a lot more. Somebody to have actually been identified, if not for you assholes. Yeah. Good job, guys. Anyway, so it's problem with y'all going to all these fucking places where all these events happen. See? Do you see the fucking issue? Yeah. Hey, but it's no big thing. You're just driving in the road. It's fun. It's fun. No harm, no foul. You don't, like, get out of the car and pet the animals or anything. No, it is a problem. Because with crimes like this, chances are really high probability of revisiting the scene by those responsible. Can't tell for you assholes that do this around every case. You just gotta have the TikTok footage and the YouTube footage, don't you? Don't you? Hell, you know, on all the anniversaries and shit y'all visit here, every year, every 6 months, every time those, like, you know, it's fun. Every time dumbasses come here, get attention back, others out here like, oh shit, I didn't know about this case, let me go visit Ben Hill, and those like writing all this shit, right? Every time you do this inside that community, just know, especially on anniversary dates and certain times, that could hold significance for the person or persons responsible. And they may actually be visiting or coming in at those times. And once again, they can't be seen because of all you assholes. Get it yet? Anyway. So, anyway, it's why my initial watching. But damn, there's no way to tell with so many looky-loos and online crazies going real life in here. Anyway, so then I go, you know what Fred said to me yesterday? Mind you, I couldn't tell if it was real Fred, dope Fred, or schizophrenic Fred. No lie. But he said there's a guy and girl in here stashed in the wood. Cooks. Says some of the others bring food and goods to them and help move the cook locations in the back of the hollow. Says he had in caps a little girl too that vanished, and he made it seem like they didn't report it because it was in here and they were cooking, obviously. Fred speak is strange. Persons like that would make sense on Candace saying that about the quote youngin' down the road. Now I was like, nah, not really, because Candace implied the one that was for sale for meth down the road, but did point in the same direction that Hollow travels and where the cook locations and all that were at some point that Fred was implying was a little one, a wee tiny one. And that was stated by her quite a bit before Summer vanished. That's the time all the weird changes started happening. Year and a half before Summer vanished. So I know my reply to this is like, nah, not the same age, blah, blah. But Candace did point in the same direction. So there's that. I remember exactly where she was standing and all this shit. She said which way she pointed. So that's another here. But, so not the same. But then again, maybe because of that Fred's time or that amount of time passing, or Fred wrongly assuming the age, or whatever. Maybe the fuck they were talking about the same one. Fuck, I don't know. But if you're a cook, you're making the meth, you then wouldn't trade a child off for meth. You know what I'm saying? So, hopefully they're both talking about two different. Actually, all I can tell you is I hope neither were real and it was just Candace with diabetes, though hurt about it. I don't know. Just why I lie about stuff. I just don't. Then again, why I lie about and hoaxes and all that bullshit. And Fred's Fred. Okay, Fred's Fred. So, I hope neither thing is true. I hope both are full of shit. Always hope that. I did try to get a beat on the one. I and Monster both did report it in real time, just so you're aware. You know, because y'all do love that whole, why didn't you report it? Why did you just live beside this? Why didn't you do anything? It's weird shit you all don't know, but accuse us all of. Swear we didn't or did not do with absolutely no idea of anything. And y'all love screaming that shit, don't you? Just love it.
Keep them out of it.
I know Vicky Dykes. She hung around Vicky Dykes after a while.
Vicky Dykes.
Yeah, I don't think that she's been questioned or nothing much. She hadn't lived around. She used to live when you get there in the holler and you turn up the main road.
Mhm.
The first house on the left. That's where they hung out a lot. Wales used to go out there and drink with Vicky's old man, which is Bill Benton. See, he got arrested down here
Bill Benton.
about 6 months ago. So at the Waleses.
Really?
Yeah.
For what? 6 months ago?
Yeah, that's 6 months ago.
After someone went missing? For what?
They had a party or something. What I gathered for her, you know, they had some kind of party or something other, and I don't know. They like 5 or 6 of them beat him up or something and called law one or something.
And this was at 110? This was at 110 Ben Hill? Yeah. Bill Benton.
Yeah.
Did Donnie ever come into some money that you knew about or anything?
About $80,000. I don't know.
Wow. Wow. Yeah.
They're gonna kill him.
Huh?
We have got to the point where literally anybody can build a fully working app without knowing how to code. This is Base 44.
The Mexico, they're gonna kill him. They're gonna hurt him.
The drug cartel, is that what you said? They're gonna kill him, they're gonna hurt him?
Yeah.
Well,
anything about Donnie or whatever went on with the cartel. But I don't know anything about that. I've never heard about it. Did come out?
Right. Yeah, I know you don't, Candace, and that's
him. They're trying to kill him. They're beating Donnie up.
The cops are beating Donnie up? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Well, I don't think they're gonna beat him up, Candace. I think they probably
Keep them out of it.
I know Vicky Dykes. She hung around Vicky Dykes after a while.
Vicky Dykes.
Yeah, I don't think that she's been questioned or nothing much. She hadn't lived around. She used to live when you get there in the holler and you turn up the main road.
Mhm.
The first house on the left. That's where they hung out a lot. Wales used to go out there and drink with Vicky's old man, which is Bill Benton. See, he got arrested down here
Bill Benton.
about 6 months ago. So at the Waleses.
Really?
Yeah.
For what? 6 months ago?
Yeah, that's 6 months ago.
After someone went missing? For what?
They had a party or something. What I gathered for her, you know, they had some kind of party or something other, and I don't know. They like 5 or 6 of them beat him up or something and called law one or something.
And this was at 110? This was at 110 Ben Hill? Yeah. Bill Benton.
Yeah.
Now with ShipStation, we are shipping 500 beauty boxes a month. It takes less than 5 minutes and get.
But anyway, left off somewhere in the midst of stuff, but like, you know, the past couple of years, it's been, look, I found in the parking lot, look, I found at the store, look, I found whatever. And I believe some shit. I'm like, then why the fuck bring here? And I think I mentioned it before, just a couple days before this shit. Literally, it was a giant fucking bag. And more than anybody would lose stop going back to where the fuck they were and looking for it. Anybody knows, like, if you're picking this shit up, why are you bringing it the fuck here? And it was, well, I don't want kids to get it, but why did you bring it when I threw it in the trash or turn it in the fucking plate? Do something, right? Nope. And then I hear, it raised hell because I was making it like, get the fuck away from it there. Like, I don't want that shit there. You know, like, what the hell? And by this point, I realized there's too many, and he always gives it some like, yeah, dude. It's always I found. You know, and there's been so many things through years like that. You know, and then I realized the truth. Or somebody says, well, my shit got gone, or this got gone, and meanwhile, the first person was like, oh, look what I found. And I'm like, you know, pieces come together. But anyway, that particular night, I lost my shit. I was like, are you fucking crazy? Why did it go throw that the fuck away? Like, get it the fuck out of here. And it was so mad at me over it. And then it comes back in not too long of a period. And then I'm like, you know, it says, well, I don't remember what I said, but I may have asked what the fuck or wherever. Some bitch is like, oh, I hit it in the car at mom and dad's. It's like, why? Why wouldn't you just flush it at that point? I mean, like, why in the hell are you hanging on to it? What the fuck? And then, like a night or two goes by, or 3 or 4, I don't know. And, but it was like one of the last nights there before I'm taking a shower. And it tells me that it took it and sold it. And I'm like, the fuck is wrong with you? Like, why would you contribute to that shit? Right? Why? You know, like, and then the person, it says that it sold it. It didn't. I asked. And I'll, even though that person's fucking like, I know that, like, y'all. And then in those last few days, like, because it was me and it was elsewhere, and it was so mad, so fucking mad, pissed, using as a new excuse. All of a sudden, no, smoking bed. I'm like, what the fuck ever, dude? All of a sudden, that's a problem. What the hell? So anyway, but it kept, I mean, it had like the fucking coke notes, you know, and it kept telling me that people at work were doing coke, and I was like, okay, so there's the Freudian slip. It's doing it too. And it was definitely acting more volatile, so I definitely assumed that was the case. And but then there comes the fucking coke nose, and you know, the stopped up shit that's different than when it's on fucking pills and whatever. And so I'm like, they kept telling me, kept telling me it was fucking air conditioning, it was cold, and it was just, look, I ain't fucking stupid, man. So either it was doing fucking coke, or it had been snorting the fucking meth, one or the other. And looking back, it's just too many fucking times that I found weight loss, all this other bullshit, the behavior, the extreme behavior changes in the past years, and then especially the past 2 or so, where I found to pick up people, the whispers, whatever the fuck else, and then also the weird shit like being anywhere, because there's just weird shit like all of a sudden it wasn't just a normal crazy trying to make you believe whatever's just beating on you and saying false things and doing whatever that aren't real and true, different than narcopath shit. This was an entirely different beast. And I really thought maybe it was doing the whole mental illness shit when it at a certain age, like some of the other family members had done. At a certain point, they started using that as an excuse, though, right? Because I'd already made it for it, but that was not the case. I don't think, looking back, there was small signs of it's like it would literally look at me and there'd be nothing being said. Everything's dead, desk quiet, and it would start screaming like, "What the fuck did you say?" And what did nothing was said, or it would say stuff having. I mean, it was in a different manner than it always should have that actually hadn't. This was entirely different, and it was like almost like a small amount of what full-on users exhibit. And I think that other things that correlate with the reason I didn't know and notice in the eyes was because of A, the other things it was doing, and B, because of the consumption of green going up, and that's temperate. So I had some control over what the fuck it was doing, I think, until the last time I picked it. I don't know. All I'm saying is it definitely has fucking problems and substance problems. But I'm fucking crazy, man. I'm just a jaded girlfriend. And I know what's being said and done, and it's fucking stupid. It's fucking stupid, man. You know, and there's so much more to it than that, and so much more proof to it than that. And I just, obviously not everything's on here, and it's like, I'm trying to watch my shit. I'm like, oh, well, this, and she's making a video of that, but it's like, man, truth is truth, and what we live in, our abuse is not us harming anybody else or trying to, but it should be out there. And this fucking life we've led, our voice is all we fucking got, and there's enough proof here to show that this isn't just I drank a Budweiser and I smacked her. This isn't just, oh, well, haha, look at this, she's a bitch, I'll mess her, she's whatever, and because it's kind of like, and look, she deserved it somehow, because that's society's fucking view, and it deserved a damn thing to happen to me, nor did they. And, I mean, despite my exterior, I mean, nobody is going to take us seriously until one of the three of us end up dead, and I can't, in all good conscience, be quiet with our fucking story and let that fucking happen, and never be like, but how, why, how did somebody miss this?
Hey guys, I didn't say you stole it. I don't know where my icon is. Can you guys hear me? Can someone let me know? Because I don't know if you can. I don't know what the hell is going on.
Andy enters my chat. First time Andy joins my chat. A chat about Fred. Andy Bernard joins chat. January 14th, 2024. Let me link this so you guys can go read chat. I'm going to get off of here because this is where we're going to start. I believe this is where I start. No? There's actually a lot more before I get to Pell. You know what? No, I don't want to skip ahead. I don't want to lose my spot. 52:30. Hold on. Before I go. Let's see if this is where he says the 3,500 feet.
Thing he talks about. In my opinion, you know what? I'm just going to shush. We'll leave my opinions to myself for a moment.
A neighbor of Don and Candace Wells, and he provides insight about the day Summer was reported missing and events that happened before Summer Wells was reported missing and after Summer Wells was reported missing. Let's go through it, and then we will discuss.
Let me tell you a strange story that no one knows. The day that Summer Wells went missing, my wife messaged Candace Wells on Facebook asking her if there's anything that they needed. Pretty common question. I'm not.
So right there, this individual here and his wife know Candace and Don Wells. The wife, his wife, like he said, messaged Candace Wells. Let's go on.
In that situation, there'd be such a thing as a common answer. But the response was a 6-pack of Mountain Dew.
So they asked Candace, his wife asked Candace, is there anything they can do to help? And Candace replies, a 6-pack of Mountain Dew. Now, whether that was Candace that replied or not, or someone using her account, could have been Don or somebody else, but the reply that they got was a 6-pack of Mountain Dew. Now, that's odd. To me, that is very, very odd response to a genuine question from a neighbor that's asking, hey, do you need help or anything we can do? Yeah, I need a 6-pack of Mountain Dew. Let's go on.
I found that odd. Second strange encounter that we had around when Summer went missing, Don Wells had came down to my home. I wasn't there yet, but a few of the...
All right, so he said Don Wells came down to his home. So it looks like this neighbor here lives somewhere along Beach Creek. We know that Don and Candace Wells live on the top of Ben Hill Road, go down their driveway, and then Ben Hill Road goes down to Beach Creek Road 347. So this neighbor here had to live somewhere real close to their home or along Beach Creek somewhere.
Guys that I work with and my wife were there, and he spoke with them the very next day. And they tell me that his whole conversation was around her being in a better place, or being in a better place, or being in a better place. And they found that odd.
So Don Wells went down to their home the very next day and was speaking about Summer in past tense. She's in a better place. She's in a better place. So, you know, Summer is no longer on this earth. She's no longer alive, according to this guy here. That's what he thinks Don was kind of implying. Let's go on.
Now, once again, we don't know how we'd act in this situation. I'm just giving you some points, giving you some information that I have that no one else has. You can take that for what it's worth, make your own opinions, read into it, don't read into it, whatever. But these are things that we know because of being near the area.
So he, in fact, said that they live near the area of Don and Candace Wells, a neighbor.
From local law enforcement, things like that. Number 3 is 2 or 3 nights later on a rainy night. There's some country roads back through that way. You can there's a back road that you take that comes out there in Kingsport, and it's a travel road, but it's not traveled a great deal. And the Don and Candace were seen about a 1.5 miles from their house, pulled over on the side of the road, very, very, very country road. Don was behind the wheel. Candace was out, and she was coming out of the wooded area. Now,
okay, so he says that 2 or 3 days after Summer Wells was reported missing, so 17th, 18th of June, 2021, Don was behind the wheel, and they were seen along a country road between their house and Kingsport. and Candace was coming out of the woods. If this is true, what do you think Candace was doing in the woods there? Were they looking for Summer? Were they getting rid of evidence? Why were they parked along the side of a country road? And which road was it? There's many roads that branch off of 347. Was it 347, which is Beach Creek? Or was it another road on its way to Kingsport, a side road, one of those roads that go into the holler? I wonder what road it is. Let's continue.
You had to use the bathroom. I think she probably could have waited to get home. Maybe not. But
So, Andy, what road do you think that he's speaking of right here? What road do you think, let's go back a little bit. What road do you think he's speaking about here where he claims that Candace was seen?
very, very, very country road. Dawn was behind the wheel. Candace was out, and she was coming out of the wooded area now.
Okay, so he says that 2 or 3 days after Summer Wells was reported missing, so 17th, 18th of June, 2021, Dawn was behind the wheel, and they were seen along a country road between their house and Kingsport, and Candace was coming out of the woods. If this is true, what do you think Candace was doing in the woods there? Were they looking for Summer? Were they getting rid of evidence? Why were they parked along the side of a country road? And which road was it? There's many roads that branch off of 347. Was it 347, which is Beach Creek? Or was it another road on its way to Kingsport, a side road, one of those roads that go into the holler? I wonder what road it is. Let's continue.
You had to use the bathroom. I think she probably could have waited to get home. Maybe not. But
he said, hey, maybe she was using the bathroom. But you would think, if they're a mile and a half from their home, they would just wait till they go home to use the bathroom. Especially, if you have to go, you got to go. But if you're close to your home, you're just going to wait till you get home. So what was she doing there, if this is all true?
that was strange that they were off in a secluded area, at dark, while it's raining, and Candace Wells was seen coming out of the woods about a mile and a half away from their home.
So I think law enforcement should talk to this guy here and ask where exactly was that location. Has authorities searched that area? Have they already looked? Have they asked Candace if this is true? Have they questioned Candace about being on the side of the road here, Dawn driving? Let's go on.
Also, another strange thing was, you've seen pictures of how high, the mountain, the hill going up to their house or whatever. And at the bottom of the hill, there's like a field. Now, that field's always grown up. But about a week or less before Summer Wells went missing, Dawn Wells mowed that down. I mean, I say mowed, hacked it down because it's about chest high with a mow.
So that is, assuming that's the bottom on their property, Dawn and Candace Wells, Ben Hill Road, on their property, down there by that shed. The shed that I posted a video about that shed. Other people that have been following this case, YouTubers, have posted about that shed. Right there at the shed, it's a field. It's a field to the right, to the left.
So a question I have for you, Andy, is that true? Was that mowed down? And had it ever been mowed down prior to that? Is that the first time it had ever been mowed down?
Left is the woods, and then going up the hill to their home, there's a big field there, and there's a small little dirt type, roadway that can go to that shed from Beach Creek. So he's saying that Dawn Wells mowed and hacked down that area before Summer Wells was reported missing. Let's go on.
That's the first and only time that field has ever been mowed. That field sits at the base of that very hill that he came out and said that he feels like someone took her down that hill and then they had to went through that field and off to wherever.
So yes, confirms out of his mouth that right there by that shed, Dawn mowed that area. Why? If it's true. Remember, if it's true. Let's go on.
Also, the Ranger, black, older Model 4 Ranger that was seen in the area, we were told by law enforcement,
Would have been moved. Because I wasn't asking if anything had mowed. He thinks it had been mowed on and off, not regularly. Okay, so but was it mowed the week prior to Summer going missing? Like that big patch that comes down from the top of the hill to where the shed is? Had that ever been mowed before? Okay, I'll let the next part play.
so we turned in that clue. We were told by law enforcement that was that truck was there. It was at the end of Ben Hill Road picking up an automotive part.
Okay, so at the beginning of this investigation, they were looking for that truck. According to this guy, who I'm assuming is the neighbor, said that they're the ones that reported the truck. And as he just said, the truck was at the end of Ben Hill Road getting an auto part. Well, there is a house at the end of Ben Hill Road. The neighbor, the Chambers, was it just like a transaction going on there for an auto part that the guy was just there to pick up, or a girl in the truck to pick up a part? It has nothing to do with the Summer Wells case. Let's go on and keep listening about this.
Also, I was told by law enforcement that whether this.
Okay, so the truck. I'd like to know your thoughts, Andy, on the truck as well. Hattie, I don't think the blue sofa has anything to do with it. I just don't. I feel like the kids were pissing on it. The dogs were shitting on it, and it was just thrown away. That's my opinion on the blue couch. I don't think the blue couch has anything to do with anything. It was gone long before summer was gone. Yeah, I've heard that too, that there was an accident with tree trimmers. Andy, do you know about anything about tree trimmers being hurt on a job while there? Okay, so I guess we'll continue. Black truck. I'd like to know about the black truck.
Scent. I've seen several places that say a dog picked up the scent and it ended. I've been told by a fairly credible source that that was not the case. Also,
so he's saying no scent, no scent. You know, we've heard stories about scents going off the property down the hill of Ben Hill onto down the home of Don and Candace Wells from their home down to Ben Hill Road. According to this guy, it's not true. He's saying he has law enforcement sources. This is, again, most likely a neighbor. He's claiming he reported the truck and Don went to his house the next day. So is this guy telling the truth? Let's go on.
When the FBI came and talked with people in the area, the two questions they wanted to know were, have you seen anything abnormal? Did you see anything abnormal that day or out of the ordinary? And number two was, what type of people were Candace and Don Wells?
So FBI is asking neighbors and people in the community around the home of Don and Candace Wells what type of people Don and Candace Wells are. Trying probably to get a profile of Don and Candace Wells, their character, nature and characteristics of an individual, to get a profile of them, asking people around their home about them.
These are some strange things that we know from being close to the area where Summer Wells went missing. What do you think about these?
Okay, so Jody Sue said that same black truck you seen on the 14th. In one of these videos I showed tonight, Jody Sue had said, one of the more recent ones, that that truck was seen a few times within the days leading up to the 14th. Is that true? And they're saying it was at the end of Ben Hill. So do you know anybody with a black Ford Ranger that hung around with Fred or came there often to get car parts or work done or anything of that matter? Who, me? Cut it out? Okay, Dan. Andy B. Jackie Dobbs said that after he talked to Don Wells on the 4th. What cut out? Oh, wait, it cut out. What? It cut out. I don't understand what you're saying. Knowledge, I don't think Quentin Simpson is a, like, can we, like, I don't mean to be rude, but can we save that for another night? Because I'm not really talking about Quentin right now. We're talking about things that happened on Ben Hill and with the people in Ben Hill. Oh, I cut out at the end? What question was I asking? I seen the kid, and the question I asked was, Jody Sue had said leading up to the 14th that she had seen a black truck in and out, I believe. I think that's what she said. That it was more than once that she had seen a black truck. She's seen a kid and the passenger go in and out on the 14th. Here's another question. Oh my God, I have so many questions. Jody Sue also said that night Fred came in that Fred was rushing to get through. He had a bike on the back of a trailer and he didn't understand why Fred wouldn't have just taken that bike to the owner. But Fred's story was he picked the bike up. Oh shit. She went over that video of mine. Hold on. Let me go look. Let me see if I can find what video it is. It was this one. So we're going to have to watch this guy again.
You know, run them out.
I don't know what part it was. I'll pause it at the part. And
Describe how you did for me, like the traffic that comes in and out of there.
Yeah, there is a lot of drug traffic. People coming in from all hours of the nights, going down the road looking for pills or meth or whatever it is they're looking for. And we've caught them. My neighbors have caught them several times parked in our driveway, and they'll, you know, run them out. It's like, you go do your damn meth somewhere else or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
And so then had people arguing with us. It wasn't a couple days before the actual sale happened. And then there was strange people sitting at the very bottom end, at the bottom of the driveway for this property. Across the road, there's a spot, like a parking spot. And it's a great place to watch this property we're on, and straight up our driveway plus Candace's. and just sit there. But I could see it from. So anyway, I took exception to that. There was all kinds of people sitting there for like an hour or two, and as most of you know online, there was a DCS situation next door. And so, but it was so strange that I think at that point I had messaged over, and I was like, look, there are cars sitting there for hours, because I didn't know what they were doing.
So that makes them mad, and they'll come by the house and burn rubber and rig all kind of heck and all this stuff. So we've had problems with them before, but lately we've had zero traffic there lately.
It's slowed down. Well, ever since summer, ever since
there's been nothing since then.
So so your road, is it, I mean, I just see the clips I've seen on the news, and it looks like you live in the country.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so how many neighbors do you guys have?
Well, it's hard to see them, with all the trees and everything, but we got neighbors, all around us, really. I mean,
but you can't see them from your house.
I mean, we got John who lives in a trailer about 500 yards away. Our neighbors about 50 yards away.
Everybody's really spread out.
A lot of these guys are really good people.
Right.
They've never had an abduction off a beach creek before.
And I'm sure they've interviewed all the neighbors and everything, and all the. There was several sex offenders in the area, true, correct?
Yeah, they checked all those out and everything. Yeah, and we put a lot of pressure on the drug traffic, trying to get names of everybody who's been through there and stuff like that. And so, and as far as we can tell, it's none of them. You're absolutely right.
What's better than an ounce of free silver? How about 500? Get ready for another monster-sized giveaway with the SD Bullion Monster Box Sweepstakes, featuring 500 of SD Bullion's very own Silver Tree of Life coins in a monster.
Yes, ma'am.
Wait and watch, and I said from the beginning.
So I think that kind of strays onto another subject. I'm going to end this here. No pedos since summer vanished. Oh no, they'd be scared. This case is so covered on YouTube. I don't think you would see any for now anyway. But I've been on 2 hours and 6 minutes. I want to come later and play the Blue Solo Cup introduction. Maybe watch something small to do with Tanya again, just so that you guys have a little refresher of who she was back in the 90s, early 2000s. And then I think we're going to listen to Jeremy Pill's podcast that I have. If I could find a second one, I'd rather listen to that one. So I'm going to look again. But if I can't, we'll definitely listen to the one I do have, just so you could hear him explain the distance of his house, tell us more about the truck, Candace coming out of the woods. He goes into deeper detail, and then you see him grift like a motherfucker. That bothers me. All right, guys, but I will see you later. It's 1. I'm going to try to come early, but not too early, probably 9, 10. I'm going to try to do earlier than midnight tonight. How about that? Somewhere between 8 and 10. All right. Talk to you all later. Peace and love. Have a good day.